Hey, I'm Brody.
And I'm Evan, and we work in the University of Virginia Motion Analysis and Motor Performance Lab.
And today we're going to use motion capture to help us answer the question, does using our arms help us jump higher? So let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get after it.
One of the main fields of biomechanics is the study of full-body human motion. Here at the UVA Motion Lab, we can run experiments to look at several different aspects of human motion, such as walking, running, climbing, squatting, or jumping. Today, we are going to look at two different types of vertical jumps, one with an arm swing and one without. In the motion capture lab, we have infrared cameras encircling the room that bounce light off of reflective markers, allowing us to track the 3D position of these markers in space. This allows us to track the movement of all the segments of a human. We also have several force plates embedded in the floor. This allows us to see how much force a person is exerting on the floor. We can then take this force and position data and calculate the mechanics of all the joints. First, we need to put the reflective markers on all of the body segments. We need to put enough markers on the subject to capture the rotation and translation of all the body segments relative to one another. Once the subject is fully marked up, we are ready to start collecting data. First, we have them stand in a static position that allows the computer to register where all of the markers are on the subject's body. As you can see here in the motion capture software, the infrared cameras are picking up the 3D positions of each marker as I stand in the static position. Then, we have to name all the markers to tell the computer which marker is which. By defining where the markers are relative to one another, we can get information about the body and joint mechanics. The result is a subject that the computer will track for us. Here, we can see the subject following along in the motion capture software as I move in real time. The force plates in the floor are also picking up the force as I shift my weight around from one foot to the other. We wanted to look at a vertical jump with no arm swing. During these trials, I was instructed to jump as high as I could with my hands down by my sides. We typically collect several trials so that we can get an average and standard deviation for any of the data we want to look at. Here's how it looks from the data collection end. Then, we wanted to look at the vertical jump while using an arm swing. We wanted to see if I could leverage swinging my arms into helping me jump higher. As I squatted to prepare for the jump, I swung my arms back as far as I could and swung them forward as I exploded into the jump. We can use motion capture to find out all sorts of things in the arena of human body motion. These techniques help us quantify things like joint angles, joint loads, power, and stability, to name a few. But today, we are just going to use motion capture to help us see if there are any differences in my vertical jump with and without the use of an arm swing. To do this, we'll track my center of mass height throughout the jump for each different jump. When we plot the vertical position of the center of mass in each case, we see that the maximum height of my center of mass is indeed higher for the case with arms. In fact, the difference between the two maximums is approximately 100 millimeters. That's almost 4 inches. This represents a better than 19% increase in my total vertical jump height. To understand this a little better, we can look to the vertical ground reaction force throughout the jump. In the phase right before push-off, we can see approximately a 10% increase in vertical ground reaction force for the case with arms. This increase in force accelerates the center of mass upward faster, ultimately allowing me to jump higher. So where does this extra force come from? As my arms swing up, my body is forced downward in reaction, increasing the force with which I push off the ground, and therefore the height of my jump. We hope you enjoyed learning about some of the ways we use motion capture to study human motion in our lab. While what we looked at today was really cool, it is only a small sample size of the full capacity of motion capture. If you're interested in learning more about biomechanics, check out some of these resources. Happy National Biomechanics Day!